Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome OCP Community Manager Amber Graner.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so glad you stuck around to be part of our closing plenaries. Thank you so much for being here over the last, some of you, 3 days. Some of you attended our engineering workshop day on Monday, and you attended the events of the summit over the last 2 days. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. You know, I tell people all the time that community empowers people. So I try to empower each and every person who belongs to our community to drive innovation, to make OCP easier to consume, and to drive that adoption. But I can't do it alone. None of us can change the world alone. And I have a huge team of people who volunteer to help me. And I want to call those folks up. If my IC members could come up, please. So our incubation committee is the committee that is responsible for reviewing every single spec that comes into the foundation. And they review it, they painstakingly review every specification. So they're the ones that decide whether it gets accepted, whether it needs to have more work done on it, or whether it gets rejected. But most of the time they accept them. And they give those submitters a lot of feedback to make their contribution better. So this is your IC. And if you guys will move down just a little bit. Now I need my project leads to come up. I claim them all as my own. These are the folks who, when you're wanting to get involved in our community and you need to pick a lane to figure out where you want to contribute and how you want to contribute, these are the folks that will help you do that. As you know, we have 8 top-level projects. We have certification, data center, hardware management, HPC, open rack, networking, server, and storage. We also now have a telco working group. So between our IC and our project leads, they're the ones that are going to help you drive adoption and thought leadership in the community. So this is the team that helps me empower you. So while they're still up here, I want to invite one other special person up here on the stage. It's Stephanie Loiza. Can you come up here, please? Stephanie Loiza is our events manager. So every event that OCP has, to include summits and engineering workshops, the mastermind, she drives us all and she makes it happen. So if you had a great experience over the last 3 days, thank Stephanie. She's the one. So, and if you had a great experience and you want to get involved and you want to be part of the summit next year and you want to go ahead and sponsor, send her an email after this and let her know that you're interested. We want you, we want you to be back and want you to be part of the show next year. So that's the lady you got to talk to. So each and every one of you all, thank you for the jobs that you do. I can't do it alone. I only do it with you. And we are here to empower you. Memorize these faces. They're the ones that are going to help you. So thank you so much. And if you'll follow Stephanie to go, she's going to take you to your next event. Up next, I want to talk about the hackathon. Our hackathon participants here, are they here? Okay. Let me see. I've got the envelope here somewhere. Who is the winner? Our winner is Team Hot Glue. Are they in the house? Come on up. I also need our sponsors. I need Brian Auchinclaws with 3M. And I need Keith Shin with Fidelity. Fidelity and 3M sponsored the hackathon. And Team Hot Glue they're gonna tell you about their innovation and their hack, but I'm gonna tell you what the criteria that they were judged upon was. The criteria was, gosh, I'm a little nervous. They followed the tenets of open compute, the hack complexity, and the hack completion. And what are we running back there to get? He's going to go get that model. Oh, he's bringing up their hack. And I'll tell you a little bit about the hack. It was based on Knox. And they did some really interesting things. And I'm going to let you tell about that when we get your prize ready. Okay. So go ahead and stand at the mic and go ahead and tell them about your hack a little bit.
All right, so is this on? We took our Knox chassis, which was designed for 3.5-inch hard drives, and we said, how quickly and easily could we adapt this for 2.5-inch SSDs? So, the quick, easy way would be you put an adapter in there. So you get 30 2.5-inch SSDs with 3.5 to 2.5-inch adapters. But could we do something better? Could we do something that's a little more dense that also is quick? So what we ended up coming up with was 2 bays. You can kind of see them here. They're 7 drives wide by 2 deep. And once the tray is pulled out, it tilts up and locks at a 45-degree position. And the drives are spaced pretty wide that no tools required, and you're able to pull the drives out. So we get 28 2.5-inch drives in the Knox tray, which is 56 for the entire chassis versus 30 if we'd use an adapter. And it's the new changes. The only things you have to do, a small drive plane board that converts it to a flexible twin-ax cable, and a passive backplane, and a little bit of sheet metal to hold the drives together. And that's it. We could probably turn it into a product in a matter of weeks.
Thank you so much. And if you'll let me have your hack for a minute, then I'll shake your hand. Fidelity and 3M are going to present you with your prize money. You want to step up to the mic, gentlemen?
Congratulations, you guys. Thank you. Congratulations. It's really cool.
So participation, this is a prime example of participation in a community. Just to sit back and watch or just to lurk and not participate in the events that we have, you're not even going to even be in the running for anything if you don't participate. These folks participated. So let's thank them again and thank our sponsors, both 3M and Fidelity, for sponsoring the hack. Whenever you can carry your check.
I'll carry this. I'll do the heavy lifting.
Thank you. Thank you so much. There's your. Thank you. And with that, I'm going to call up one other person. If Frank Frankowski can step on stage, please. And I am going to turn the floor over to him.
Thank you, Amber.
Thanks, Frank.
Congratulations to the hackathon winners. Don't spend it all in one place. You have to spend at least half of that on your dogs. Wow. So thanks to this core group of people who have come back here to close this event out. It's always amazing to me the people that really work hard and contribute to this project. And we have so many people to thank. I'm so glad to see that Amber has recognized our incubation committee members, our project team leads, and everybody that has contributed hours. I listened to Kushagra's talk earlier, and I knew that I had an intuitive sense about the amount of investment, for example, that Microsoft has made, but I had no idea that it was 4,000 people hours or over 4,000 people hours in 1 year. I mean, that's a ton of effort, and there's no clear ROI on that effort. But the ROI on that effort is starting to become more clear. It started out as a crazy idea to open source hardware. We're seeing the impact happen now, and it's pretty awesome to see. So just a couple other things. I wanted to make sure to thank all of our sponsors. As you guys can see, putting on an event of this size and with this level of quality is not inexpensive. We currently don't charge admission for the event either. You're all going to be getting a survey to find out if you'd be willing to pay something, $0 to $2 or $0 to $500. We're not sure what it's going to be, but we want to get community feedback on whether or not you think this content is valuable enough that you'd be willing to pay to come to this event so we can continue to scale it, continue to make sure that it's a good, high-quality event as well. So just a quick round of applause for all of our sponsors. They make this possible. I also want to give a quick shout out to Tech. So you've probably seen folks walking around with black shirts on. The reason that when you walk into this convention center and it feels as cool as it feels and the production quality is what you see is largely due to Jeremy and his team with Tech. You guys have done a fantastic job year after year after year, and it's a pleasure to work with you. So thank you very much. Last but not least, we will be back here in this same venue about a year from now. We haven't locked down the dates yet. We obviously have a lot of other events happening around the world, but the next big US Open Compute Summit will be back here around this time next year. So we look forward to seeing all of you, and obviously all of the people that were here yesterday for the opening remarks back here next year. We're not sure if we're going to limit the attendance again like we did this year. A lot of that has to do with how much we all agree that we might be able to charge for this event, because obviously as the numbers scale, all the expenses scale as well. So we just want to make sure that we keep this a very high quality event. And if we need to limit attendance in order to keep expenses under control, that's what we'll do. Or if everyone decides that they want to chip in a little bit, then we can scale it up, and maybe next year, instead of having 3,000 people, we'll have 5,000 people. But we're looking for your feedback, right? Some people that I've talked to have said, man, it's really kind of cool. Like, if it gets any bigger, it may not be as cool. And other people are like, well, what if it got twice as big? So really looking for your feedback, like we do on everything, from a technology perspective, but also just from this event, because I know it's a big investment of everyone's time to be here for 2 or in some cases 3 days. Have I thanked everybody? Yes. Between Amber and myself, I hope that we have thanked everybody who has made the most significant contributions to the project. It's clear to me, what I've heard said over the last couple of days, that legacy and the way the industry used to work is clearly behind us now, and long live open compute. Thank you all for coming.